Hi, this is Wayne with Ziegler Equipment. In today's how-to video, I'm going to show you how to set the hydraulics. So to get to the hydraulics, you can get to it a couple different ways. One, if it's in a tile, you can just touch it and it'll go to the hydraulics page. Another way is up here at the menu. You can hit menu, go to tractor functions, then go to the hydraulic cylinder. Third way is hit the 9 square button, which will bring you up to the same thing, and hit the hydraulic cylinder. So in the page, it's got all the outlets, left to right. You can touch on whatever color you want. You can set flows by touching and dragging, or you can touch it and use the dial on the armrest to set your flow for either plus or minus. Same way with the timer. So number 3 I got set for a timer of 2 seconds. If I wanted to shut the timer off, I just unselect it, select it to turn it back on. Same way, you can highlight that and set it. Right now it's set for 2 seconds. If I wanted it to be continuous, I would set it here. I can also, in the FendtOne, you can also label the valve. So we could say if this was on a planner, we could name this the raise or whatever function you wanted to label it as, and then it would stay stored with whatever profile you have. Down here this is set so it's proportionally comes on. If you have it in this mode, this will, no matter how far down you push the lever, it'll go to maximum output either way. So most of the time we'll run it in this position. This next button is priority, so if you want one valve to have priority, like if a vac fan or something you want to keep running all the time, you turn that on. Up here in the gears, this is a couple functions we can turn on. So you'll have if we turn this function on, which is the linear mode function, so now it brings up this extra drop down here. So now the red valve, we can change how the lever operates. So now if we hit the lever, if we just flick the lever, it'll turn on to the timer. If we push it clear to detent, it'll go into float. So the second position, now if we just move the lever, we can proportionally control it so it's not going into the timer. But if I push it all the way down into detent, it goes into the timer and then shuts off. Last mode, same function. You can proportionally run the lever, push it clear down into detent, goes into float, and then back into plus would go into the timer. The second function in the gears is the hydraulic motor function. This is something newer to the FendtOne. So if I turn that on, go back to my home, it'll bring up another symbol. So if I turn that on, now when I turn on the outlet, it will go into continuous, so it automatically sets the timer to continuous. Now the next time I hit the button, no matter back or forward, it will go into float. So if I just touch it again, it goes to float. So that's a nice function for hydraulic vac motors, where if you want to shut them off instead of having to ahead and just go straight to float, so a little easier on the motor. This last little button here is the little hand, so what that does when I touch that, you can set whatever outlet to run on the back of the fender. So right now it's set to run outlet 4 on the back fender. And that's pretty much everything. Thank you.